Hello and welcome to another episode of Chopping Onions. Today we are gonna prepare some chorizo and squash tacos. One of the things I like most in life is eating tacos, and autumn is here already, so I was thinking, what seasonal delight could I make for my next video? And this is the answer. Shall we start? We are gonna begin by making some pickled onions. That will be a perfect garnish for our tacos. So we finally slice a couple of red onions, put them on a bowl. We want to add some heat to this onion, so we add some fresh chili. I think the original recipe uses habanero, but I'm using scotch bonnet here, that I believe is quite similar. I strongly recommend using gloves when handling this kind of peppers. I am not using them, so I will suffer the consequences later today. For the pickling liquid, we are using lime and orange. Squeeze them in, give them a proper toss and save it for later. Pickled onions are great, but I also want a bit of guacamole on the top of my taco, so let's make a very quick one. Finally chop some onion, chop some tomato, then add the avocados, roughly chop some coriander, squeeze half a lime, and then smash it all together. And then we finish by adding some extra virgin olive oil. Nice and simple. Let's go for the real deal now. We need to dice this squash into little cubes. Squashes are hard to peel and cut, but with patience we'll get there. Don't forget to remove the seeds. Now add some fresh thyme. We crush a couple of garlic cloves. Then we add some dry crushed chili. I am using ancho chili, which is very mild, but you could use something like chipotle, jalapeno, or chile del árbol if you like a proper heat. To finish, we add a very generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and massage for a few seconds. Give it a proper massage so everything is distributed evenly. We put the squash in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 320 Fahrenheit for around 20 to 25 minutes. While the squash is in the oven, we start slicing some white onions. Yes, onions again. Did you forget what the name of the channel was? Moving to the chorizo, I have previously removed the skin of the chorizo, so here I'm just splitting it a bit, as it's gonna fall apart in the pan. We put a pan on a medium heat with a splash of oil. Then we brown the onions a little bit before adding the chorizo. We cook them together for around 5 minutes or so. Then we add the squash that just came out of the oven. A tip here is to try the squash. We want it slightly hard, so it has some texture, but not too hard. After tasting it, I realized it was a bit on the hard side, so I cooked it for longer this time. I also added a bit of oregano. And this is our filling for our tacos. Let's now go with the tortillas. I understand most people will just buy tortillas from the supermarket, but I like making them myself because they taste great. For this, we need cornmeal. Do not confuse with corn flour. I am using this one that happens to be blue and you can buy in Mexican food stores, but you don't need to use that one specifically. In the past I've used Asian and South American cornmeal brands and they work well too. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is the ratio of water and flour that you need to use in each case. For this one specifically, the ratio is 2 measures of flour by 1 1/8 of water. Now it's time to knead our dough, but just for a couple of minutes. Oops, this seems to be on the wet side. Then we make little balls that are going to be our tortillas. The majority of people don't have a tortilla press, so you can use a rolling pin like this one instead. It takes a bit longer, but does the job as well. I make tacos quite regularly, so I happen to have a tortilla press. That makes the job way easier. You just need to put the ball on a press with 2 sheets of baking paper on the side and press. I press, then flip it and press again to have an even thickness, but as you can see it is quite trivial. In order to cook the tortillas, I put my big iron cast skillet on a high heat and wait until it gets some temperature before placing the tortillas inside. I am the crazy guy that flips the tortillas with his bare hands, but please be a normal human being and use a spatula or something. This is really hot. As I mentioned, the dough was a little bit wet, so it was difficult to unstick it from the paper. So I started placing the tortillas directly with the paper inside the pan, and then it was easier to remove the paper. Time for the final assembly. I don't know what the right order is, but this is how I do it. First, the main filling. Then we add the guacamole, add the coriander, and then we finish with the pickled onion. Look at that, a perfect taco to lift up the spirit on those rainy and windy days in autumn. Before you go, I just wanted to tell you about this extra virgin olive oil I feature on my videos. This is Tierra del Yeguas EVOO from Andalusia. It is a superb oil extracted in cold press, perfect for salads, marinades, sauces, or just to eat it with a nice thick slice of sourdough bread. I've added the link to their website in the description below. Thanks for watching, and as always, the ingredients are in the description below. If you like the video, please click on the subscribe button. Cheerio!